Okie dokie, boys and girls. So, today we have a fucking leg day. Yes, the least watched videos on this channel, but I am so excited because it's the first leg day since running the 50 kilometers. Like, I did 4 days of practically only upper body, and now I just get to do a leg day. And it's not gonna be crazy, but nonetheless, I'm so excited because this is gonna be the biggest comeback for my chicken legs ever. From barely being able to walk all the way up to squatting 75 kilos on one leg. That's the final goal, right? So that's what we're gonna aim for. And like I said, I wasn't able to get upstairs a couple days ago. I wasn't able to walk downwards, I was only able to go uphill or flat. And, bit by bit, the pain has faded away. And now they're still tired, of course, my legs, but we are able to use them again. There is no valid excuse not to squat, not to do Nordic rolls today. Of course, it's going to be very slow, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Like, when you come back from something, whether it be a huge training effort that you're super sore from, or an injury, right? You want to take things slow. It sounds boring, right? But I feel like many people, when they drop down like a level of fitness, for example, you get injured and you're not able to do a planche anymore, or something else you do, like I said, a big training effort, right? I think many people first of all try to continue on their previous level too long. So even if they get injured, they will continue training the way they were doing, hurting themselves even more. And second of all, they don't drop down back enough. And that's the two things that you have to really pay attention to make sure that you can come back stronger than ever. Because let's say you're injured, right? And you continue to operate at the level where you are getting hurt, the injury is only going to get worse. And I feel like I'm guilty of this, right? I was training Hephisto years and years and years ago. I wasn't even 20 years old, I believe, or maybe I just was, I don't know. Maybe like 5 years ago. I was training Hephisto, and I knew my fucking, well, it was this one, but my arm was getting fucked up. I knew it. I was overusing it way too much, but I wanted to get that Hephisto. So I was like, I'm gonna get the Hephisto and then rest up. No, that shit doesn't happen that way. So I injured myself. Well, if I had dropped down earlier, I would have gotten the Hephisto faster because I would have been able to recover and then get stronger again. Same thing as well, after getting injured, right? That Hephisto 2, I tried to get back into the swing of things immediately, on the same level I was before. That's not good. You're only gonna make things worse. When you drop back down, you have to scale it in such a way that, okay, you might feel your injury, but you know that you're not gonna feel it tomorrow. Tomorrow you're not gonna feel that pain. You want to trigger the pain in a controlled manner, for example, with a dumbbell. It's kind of like the forearm work I sometimes do for planche. You start with some very light weight at high reps, and then you build up from there. You have to drop down a lot, right? And it might hurt your ego, but by dropping down that much, you can build your foundation from ground zero again. And a solid foundation is going to allow your muscles, whatever you have, it's going to allow them to become stronger than ever. So those are the two things. First of all, stop training at the current intensity in time. And second of all, drop down back the intensity enough so that your body is able to catch up and grow back stronger than before. So that's what we are going to do today as well. I am going to do Nordic curls. I am going to do squats, but I'm not going to go intense. I'm going to go through the motions. I'm going to get a good pump. So I'm going to head outside for the Nordic curls first of all now and do some finger assisted reps. Normally I would warm up all the way until I am doing the full Nordic curl, right? I'm not gonna do that today. Today, I'm just gonna feel how things are going, feel if they're okay, and then next time, when I'm even more excited, I wanna fucking do the Nordic curl, don't get me wrong. But I wanna also contain myself until it's time to actually do it safely. So that's what the goal of today is, to just get a good pump, see that everything is clicking and ticking in perfect fashion and harmony, and the next time we can go harder than last time. So I'll see you outside for some Nordic rolls. All right, no pain, so that's good. And I use my fingers as assistants on this exercise, but it's a hamstring exercise. It's not a push-up. It looks like I'm doing a push-up with my fingers, but I'm using my fingers as assistants so that I have to pull less with my hamstrings. So this is still a leg exercise. It's not a push-up, even though I put that on the short videos. That's just because I think it's funny, but it is a Nordic curl, a hamstring curl, and it's used to train your hamstrings. So I'm gonna do 2 more sets of this, the pinky assisted stuff. It's difficult, but I can do 10 reps, so it's gonna give me a good pump. All right, let's move on to pistol squats. Okay, so I'm gonna record inside or talk inside, not to disturb my neighbors too much, but I'm gonna do my pistol squats outside, I believe, because it's fucking sunshine out. It's getting hot. It's gonna be hot today, and I think some pistol squats outside, get a good sweat going. It's gonna feel good. I'm gonna keep my weight light, so I was first of all debating between just body weight pistol squats and lightweight pistol squats, but I'm gonna go for lightweight. Not too many reps, but I have a dumbbell. Well, I have two, and it's gonna be 24 kilos, which should be fucking peanuts, no matter what the situation. So that's kind of the mindset I'm gonna have going into it. But yeah, couple sets, nothing too difficult. Perhaps like 2 or 3 of them, like 2 or 3 sets, 5 reps, get the blood flowing. Nothing like, I don't want to basically go to my limit on this, right? I just want to get the movement going again, prepare for next time where I might go a little bit heavier again. But for now, just some light ass pistol squats. Lightweight baby in the literal sense. So let's get outside and do these squats. Whoopsie. Let's try again. Alright, quadriceps are still more destroyed than I thought, so let's try body weight first. It feels light, but I also feel that my quadriceps are still so fucking sore. Alright, 1 more set. Okie dokie, so squats are done. Not many squats today, but it's not about getting big boy all-time PRs today. It's just about getting the movement down again. And these sits that I did, well, first of all, I failed fucking 24 kilos. So I had to warm up with bodyweight squats before I actually went to the 24 kilos again, which I'm not used to. Usually I warm up with 30 kilos or more these days, but once I got warmed up, I was able to do the 24 kilo sit. And the point here is that I did not go to my complete max. Yes, it was a difficult set. 5 reps was a bit of a grinder, not too much. But if I really tried hard, I could have gotten 8, perhaps even up to 10 reps. So I'm trying to stay below 70, ideally like 50 to 70% of my actual effort. And the reason that it still feels difficult is because, well, the pain in my legs is still there, right? Every time I squat, I feel the soreness from the running coming back. My joints, while they don't hurt, they feel stiff because I have to get back into the groove of things. But that's exactly why this training is useful, to get back into the groove of things. I could wait a couple more days until I'm even more recovered, for sure. But I will still be like a bit sluggish. I would still have to get back into the swing of things. So I think it's good to just, get back into your training as soon as possible. If you have like a big dip, get back into it as soon as possible, because that's going to prevent you from falling even further down, losing even more strength. So for me, yes, today wasn't very hard. It wasn't an insane amount of weight I was using, but it was allowing my body to move, to get used, or to keep remembering the movement patterns that I care so much about, the pistol squat, the Nordic curl. And that's kind of the important part of today's workout. It's the key to get, out of those holes, out of those weak times. So now I'm actually gonna go back outside because I have one more thing to do, and that's some stretching. I'm not gonna do the pistol squat hold today because I don't feel like my legs are up for it, but I am gonna do some deep lunges. And to be honest, I don't want to do this. It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt my quadriceps as well. But the load is so light, so even though it's gonna hurt, it's not gonna actually damage anything. It's just gonna pump blood into the area. It's gonna actually speed up the recovery, I believe. So there's only benefits to it. And when something is really gonna suck and you don't want to do it, but it only has benefits, right? The only downside is that it takes time and it's boring and it's gonna be painful, right? Think about how bad you want to improve in your training. If the answer is you don't want to improve in your training, then fine, don't do it. But in my case, I do want to improve. I want to get back to heavy squats as fast as possible. I want to smash PRs, right? Get into the 60, the 70s of like kilos of I've added weight. So the only way to get there is to fucking do the shit that I don't want to do because it has benefits. And that's exactly, I'm gonna go back outside here, stop yapping, do 3 sets of 10 on deep lunges, and be done for today's workout. Let's go. Alright, so if you're wondering why on those lunges I don't go all the way up, it's because this is not a strength exercise, it's a stretching exercise. And the stretch is at the bottom of the lunge. So for me, going all the way to the top really doesn't have any added benefits. At the top, there is no stretch. I don't care about that portion. I care about the bottom where I can feel, my quadriceps from the leg behind and my ankle and my hip from the leg in front. That's where I want to improve. So that's where I spend all of my time. But anyway, that's it for today's workout. Light but effective, Even if you're not feeling 100%, there's always something you can do. By now you will probably know that because I say it way too much, but it's actually true, and that's why I keep saying it. So today I was also not in a perfect condition, but guess what? If I don't do any training, right, until I'm in the perfect condition, I'm gonna have to wait forever because after a dip, like a 50-kilometer run or any training, like big training where you're actually fucking tired, all the way beaten down, or an injury, after any of those moments, you're not gonna get back into the swing of things, back into perfect condition without putting in effort. You're gonna have to kind of, force your body, like, hey, I still want to move, right? You have to tell your body that, because if you don't, if you just sit around and wait, your body's gonna be like, oh, okay, that one-time effort, it was just, all the training up until that point, it was for that big effort. Now we can rest up. Your body's gonna be like, oh, we don't have to recover anymore, right? So if you have these big drop downs in performance, your body cannot recover at once from that. So in order to recover and get hypertrophy from that, to overcompensate, we're going to have to give different small stimuli to your body, bigger and bigger and bigger, so that your body knows, oh shit, we have to get back up there. And, if you do that, your progress will be quite fast. Your body knows what kind of things it was capable of. You have this muscle memory thing. It's kind of like that, your body knows up until which point it can go. So if you stimulate it, you will only remember or remind your body to go that far. But anyway, that's it for today's workout. Very happy that we got a leg day under our belt after that run, after that 50K. But now it's time to have some breakfast and recover. I didn't go for a run today yet, but that's because I want to, it's going to be 28 degrees outside, which is, it's quite hot, at maybe like 70 or 80, I don't know what the hell it is in Fahrenheit. But yeah, it's going to be super hot and sunny, and I kind of want to build sun resistance, so I'm going to go out for a run in the heat of the moment, in the afternoon, and that's going to be just to build some resilience. Maybe that's a topic for another day, building resilience. Why the fuck would you go out for a run when the sun is out and it's super hot? Well, I'll tell you that in another video. But for now, I'm gonna head back, have some breakfast, and see you tomorrow for a push day.